Hi everyone and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Nikki.
And today we're talking about a particularly cool fireworks display. In fact, it's a festival. Do you enjoy fireworks, Nikki?
I do, but I don't really see them that often.
Do you go to 101 for New Year's Eve?
Not really, because it's always a lot of people. But I went to Disneyland, and they have this cool Disney figures fireworks. What about you?
I went to 101, got pretty close the first year I was here, and I've also watched them from Elephant Mountain. They're pretty good. I don't do that much these days. Maybe when my son's older, I'll take him out again to see them and ignore the crowds. I've seen some other pretty cool ones. I was at a big festival on an island called Minorca, which is close to Spain, and they had a huge fiesta with great big firework displays across the bay, the harbour. Over all the boats. So that was good because not only did you get the fireworks in the air, the light and colours were reflected in the surface of the water. So it was kind of like a double thing, made them feel very impressive.
But in UK, you guys have this festival or something too.
Yeah, bonfire night, 5th of November. People will let off fireworks. They'll have great big bonfires. They do lots of fires and explosions to celebrate a time when we didn't have a big fire and an explosion. That's a story maybe we'll tell in our magazine. I think we might have done it once or twice, maybe last year, but we'll tell it again if we need to when November comes around. I'll mention it again in the article too. But let's read through and find out what this Taiwanese fireworks festival is.
Reading. The Yanshui Beehive Fireworks Festival, a Taiwanese tradition for over 130 years. Imagine thousands of fireworks all going off at the same time. They light up the night sky and make a sound similar to thousands of bees streaming out of their beehives. These are familiar sights and sounds at the Yanshui Beehive Fireworks Festival in Tainan. This religious folk festival is celebrated each year on January 14th and 15th of the Chinese lunar calendar. In 2022, that date matches up with February 14th and 15th of the Western calendar. This tradition began in 1885 when Yanshui was affected by a cholera plague. Many people died of the disease every day. They prayed to the Chinese god of war, Guangong, to bring an end to the horrors of this plague. People paraded an image of Guangong around town. They set off fireworks contained in large structures that looked like beehives to drive away evil spirits. Afterward, the cholera plague ended. It's now believed that chemicals in the fireworks killed germs and the noise scared away rats that spread disease.
So the article starts by saying, imagine thousands of fireworks all going off at the same time. So let's get into what fireworks actually are. They're devices with some kind of explosive powder in them and other chemicals, and when they burst, when a fire reaches them or a spark, they'll make a big noise, and coloured lights and the different powders you can put in there give them different colours. You get the ones that shoot up into the air, the ones that spin around, ones that go bang, and then the sparks that come off go bang again and make different colours and patterns.
It's like, phew.
Exactly. All kind of fun stuff. And as Nikki said, here's our example sentence. In the UK, people set off fireworks on November 5th. Bonfire night.
今天课文呢要介绍的就是盐水风炮，所以一开始就叫我们想象一下有上千个烟火同时发射爆发的样子。Fireworks 是名词，也就是烟火，像是在跨年的时候101都会有倒数烟火那样。那发射到天空会有五颜六色的光线和图案。那除了 firework 之外，我们在台湾可能还很常见的就是 firecracker， 也就是鞭炮，通常就是声音会很大声，像是过年啊，或者是开工的时候都会放的那种。
And we've got a phrasal verb here we often use with fireworks, to go off. To go off means to explode, to go bang, to make this loud noise and the gunpowder explode. So we tend to use it with fireworks, but we can say gun. How did the gun go off? Meaning when was it fired? How did it fire?
Go off 这个片语的意思是爆炸或者是激发，通常用来说炸弹或者是火药爆炸。那呢，也可以当作枪的激发。
So we're going back now to this image from the article about all these fireworks going off. We read, they light up the night sky and make a sound similar to thousands of bees streaming out of their beehives. So here we have the word beehives. A beehive is a place where bees live. Now, they build their own little hives, but we can also build hives for them. Traditionally, a beehive was a dome shape, but you could use a square shape. Many other kinds of shapes are possible, and it's just the home for bees. And some beehives you can use to collect honey as well.
那之所以会叫做风炮，是因为这些放烟火的声音听起来很像同时有好几千只蜜蜂从它们的蜂窝里面冲出来。Beehive 是名词，也就是蜜蜂的家。通常我们会在树上看到上面有很多个洞，住着很多蜜蜂的地方，也就是蜂巢。
So this kind of exploding, this light, this sound like bees buzzing together, we see, as the article says, these are familiar sights and sounds at the Yanshui Beehive Fireworks Festival in Tainan. The word familiar means something that is common. This is a well-known thing. It's not strange. It's not unusual in this situation. It's what you'd expect. It's what you're used to. Here's an example. Stinky tofu stands are a familiar sight to anyone who's been to a night market in Taiwan.
那所以这些就是在台南盐水风炮常常会看到的景象。Familiar 是形容词，指的就是常见的或者是普通的。
So this sounds like a pretty fun place to be. What do we learn about the Beehive Fireworks Festival? The article says this religious folk festival is celebrated each year on January 14th and 15th of the Chinese lunar calendar. So here we're explaining that it's the lunar calendar, not the Western calendar that pretty much everybody uses. Taiwan uses kind of two calendars together. But lunar calendar is one that's related to the moon. And it's the one that's used for things like the Lunar New Year, which is why it's not the same day as January the 1st, or other lunar months being like Ghost Month and things like that.
那盐水风炮的时间就是每年农历的1月14跟15。Lunar 是形容词的意思，就是跟月亮有关的东西或者是月亮的。那因为我们在台湾看的农历，最早是透过看那些跟太阳还有月亮运行来计算的，所以 Lunar Calendar 指的就是农历。
The article also explains how these two calendars sort of run together. We see in 2022, that date, so lunar January 14th and 15th, that date matches up with February 14th and 15th of the Western calendar. And we use this phrasal verb match up to show that two things are the same. Two things are sort of equivalent, like it's about one UK pound to around 38-40 NT dollars, and they kind of correspond. With a date, it means they occur at the same time.
那在2022年农历的1月14和15对应到的是国历的2月14和15。Match up 这个片语的意思呢，就是对应，也就是说两个东西是等同的意思。
So let's find out more about the festival. We see this tradition began in 1885, so it's an old one, when Yanshui was affected by a cholera plague. So cholera is a deadly disease. It's caused by bad food and especially bad water, and it attacks people's inside their stomach, all the guts area. Pretty nasty, pretty deadly. We've mostly controlled it these days. Now, in the article, we describe it as a plague. The actual word plague is a particular kind of disease, 2 or 3 diseases that spread quickly and affect and kill a lot of people. But we can use the word casually to talk about any disease. Cholera and the plague are two different diseases if you're being medical, but any disease that spreads quickly, we can just call that a plague.
那盐水风炮最一开始的起源呢，就是因为当时候在1885年的台南盐水的霍乱 ，cholera 指的就是霍乱。这种疾病啊，它是透过不干净的水源或者是食物，然后影响到人的肠子，会造成腹泻啊，甚至严重还会到死亡。那 plague 则是瘟疫，通常表示的呢是一个很严重，会带来很多伤亡的疾病。
And of course, with any plague, we're going to have the situation we see in the article. Many people died of the disease every day.
It's very serious. And the article says they prayed to the Chinese god of war, Guanggong, to bring an end to the horrors of this plague.
Yeah, and who wouldn't do that, of course? And they want to bring an end to the plague. To bring an end to something just simply means to stop that thing, to make it go away.
那因为当时的霍乱，每天都很多人死掉，所以他们就决定说要去拜关公，希望可以让这个霍乱结束。Bring an end to something 这个片语指的就是结束。那字面上来说，看到就是一个带来一个结局，那意思就是结束的意思。
And we say they wanted to bring an end to the horrors of this plague. When we use horror in this way, we often use it in the plural to mean terrible things. Could be events, could be circumstances, just really bad things that are happening. And these things cause people to feel horror. So you can feel horror, but you can also experience or see horrors, terrible things going on that make you just feel, oh my God, this is awful. This is the worst thing that can happen. For example, we could say the paintings in this exhibition show the horrors of war.
Horror 是名词，意思就是恐怖的事情或者是震惊、恐惧。那它的动词呢，就是 horrify。如果我们要形容人感到震惊的话，我们就会说 I'm horrified, I'm very shocked。那如果是要用来形容某一件事情很令人震惊的话，我们就会说 This news or this thing is horrifying。那如果是恐怖电影，我们就会说 horror movies。So
how did people pray to Guanggong? It's actually quite important because it may explain what really happened. We see in the article, people paraded an image of Guanggong around town. Now, in this sentence, we're using the word parade as a verb, and it's parade something, a particular thing. And with this verb, you hold or carry this object, maybe a picture, a statue, a flag, or kind of something you want to honor and you want people to see, and then you march and you move it around a particular area. For example, when you are on a parade, that's the noun form. You kind of pick it up, you put it at the front of everybody, and you walk around this neighborhood or area so everyone can see it, everyone gets a look at it. You're kind of showing it off. Here's an example sentence. The people from the temple paraded statues of several gods around the local neighborhood.
那同时大家就会在镇上游行展示关公像。Parade 在这边是动词，指的就是游行展示，也就是在街上游行展示某样东西。那 parade 也可以当成是名词，指的就是游行，像是在台湾每年都会举办的同志游行，就是 Pride Parade。That's
right. So while they were parading, we see in the article they set off fireworks contained in large structures that looked like beehives to drive away evil spirits. So we've got another word. We saw go off earlier, the phrasal verb. Now we have set off. Both similar in meaning, but set off is to make them go bang, to make them start.
Set off 这个片语的意思是燃放或者是使东西爆炸，但如果是点燃的话，我们就会说 ignite 或者是 light。
Exactly. And these fireworks were all in large structures. They had hundreds of these fireworks in these big beehive-like structures. And a structure could be some kind of building, but it could also be anything that's built for a particular purpose. It will have things either inside it or on top of it. And it could be a small structure, like a little house for a dog. It could be a huge structure, like a skyscraper. It could be a natural one, like in this example sentence. Beaver dams are often large structures made of wood that are found in lakes and rivers.
Structure 是名词，意思就是大型的建筑物或者是结构物。那在这边课文的意思就是说，他们会做一个很大的建筑，然后看起来会很像蜜蜂的蜂巢，然后呢，里面就装满了烟火，他们就会燃放这些烟火来赶走恶灵。
And the idea of setting off all these fireworks was to drive away evil spirits. To drive something away, this isn't literal, this isn't put somebody in a car and take them off out of the place. It means to scare something away. You force it to go away with a loud noise or a scary look or something like that.
Drive away 这个片语的意思是赶走或者是驱走，不是开车开走的意思哦。所以说课文这里的意思就是说，他们要利用这些烟火来把这些坏东西给赶跑，给吓走。
And it worked, because as we see in the article, afterward, the cholera plague ended. So afterward, or sometimes in the UK you might see it as afterwards with an S at the end, means that after a particular event, and it's one that you've previously mentioned. So you kind of know what we're referring to. If you don't know, you couldn't really use this word. You would have to say after the movie. But if you already know we're talking about a movie, you can just say afterward. For example, the friends had a nice dinner together. Afterward, they went to see a movie. So here we know afterward means after dinner.
那接着课文就说，在之后呢，霍乱就结束了。Afterward 或者是 afterwards 是一个副词，指的就是后来或者是之后。也就是说，可能你在说话的时候，前面已经提到一件事情了，那在后面之后的事情，我们就会用 afterward。例句说，朋友们一起吃了开心的晚餐，在那之后，他们就去看了场电影。
So, what was going on here? Did Guangdong kind of step in and stop this plague and drive away the evil spirits that were causing it? Well, people might still believe that, but as we see in the article, it's now believed that chemicals in the fireworks killed germs and the noise scared away rats that spread disease.
So I wonder if fireworks can kill COVID-19.It's
worth a try.
那据说这些烟火里面的化学物质可以杀死细菌，而且这个巨大的声响也会把那些携带病毒的老鼠给吓走。那这边我们看到的一个文法是 it， 然后再加上 be 动词 said 或者是 believe 或者是 reported that 什么什么事情，意思就是说据说、据信或者是据报道说是怎么样。这边的 it 是虚主词，后面的 that 所引导的子句才是我们真正要看的主词。Here's an example sentence. It is believed that opening an umbrella indoors brings bad luck. 据说在室内打开雨伞会招致厄运。
And so the thing that people believe here is that fireworks kill germs. And the word germ is a casual term for bacteria, viruses, all these other tiny living things that can make you sick. It's not a term you'd hear a scientist use, but for most people, yeah, just nasty bugs that make you feel ill.
Germ 是名词，意思就是细菌或者是病菌，那也就是比较口语的来说 bacteria。Pat, do you think it's true that the fireworks can kill germs?
I can see how extra heat in the air might kill some of the things that are flying around in the air. Smoke maybe could do it as well. I'd have to go back and look more into the real science about whether that could work. It may be that just the plague was kind of over. Plagues do kind of run their course and stop eventually once everybody gets immune to it. But yeah, maybe the fireworks and burning it away and clearing up the air did help. But there you go. That's what people believe, and that's why we have this festival today. We're going to talk more tomorrow about what you can do if you want to experience this festival, but now it's time for our For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
Okay, so today's For You Chat question is, what are some other famous gods? Why do people pray to them?
Well, one thing about coming from the UK is that most of the people in the UK would say there's only the one God to pray for. And it's the same God, whether you're Muslim or Christian or Jewish, it's all the same God. But when I came out to Taiwan, you obviously find there's a lot more gods hanging around.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in a lot of the older religions, people have a group of gods, not just one. So the Greek gods like Zeus and Hera, the Roman equivalents, Jupiter and Juno. In the Norwegian, Norse mythology, people
and they all have all like different functions here in Taiwan.
Right, and I think Taiwan's the same. Each one is a particular area. Guangdong is a god for some things. You've got the sky god for other things. You've got that old man who makes people fall in love. You've got the one that helps.
月老.
Yeah, people who helps them do well on exams. You've got the different
and Mazu.
Buddhas. Yeah, the Matsu for the kind of sea and other stuff like that. Guanyin for other things. So there's a lot, and you pray to them just because you feel like you want a bit of extra luck in your life. You would like good things to happen, and so you do a bit of praying. I remember my wife, in order to firstly get pregnant and then to say thank you, went to the city god and his wife in Dadaochang, over by there.
Yeah, and the thing is that you pray for something, and if it happens, and afterwards you have to go back
exactly
to tell them like, oh, thank you for giving me something.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's quite nice. I don't do it myself because if I don't believe in it, it would kind of be a lie, but I'm perfectly happy to go along with it. But that's all the time we have for today. Join us again tomorrow to find out more about this Yanshui Beehive Fireworks Festival and how you can attend it. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Firework. Mike watched the amazing fireworks from the roof of his building. Familiar. Christmas trees are a familiar sight at Christmas time. Many families like to decorate them in their living rooms. Horror. This book describes the horrors of war from a soldier's point of view. Parade. The festival includes people from the local church parading a large cross through the village. Structure. This brick house is the oldest structure in the town. It was built 500 years ago. Afterward. Let's go to the movies first. We can eat dinner afterward.
智慧小补帖
Beehive. Lunar. Cholera. Plague. Germ.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net